Welcome to the stream, everybody. I hope everyone's having a good day. I can see that there's some people showing up, which is a great sign. I see that some of you guys have already started asking questions. As you guys know, this is a device setup, onboarding, and then at the end of the stream, we will be answering any questions you guys may have. So we do have some mods in the chat that during the stream, we'll be answering you guys' questions while I'm doing the device setup and explaining you guys best practice. I won't be able to address it, but at the end, of course, if a question hasn't been answered, I'll of course address your guys' question. So of course, I'll just give you guys a few more minutes and then we will get started. For today's stream, we will be doing the Nano X. Of course, before I even get started on the Nano X, we also have the S Plus, and there's a few different designs. These are obviously exclusive to communities and collabs. So if you're a part of certain communities and certain NFT projects, make sure you check if maybe you're eligible for a special ledger. I see we have questions. Shout out to Brady, shout out to Tim. They will be in the chat addressing your guys' questions during the stream. So yeah, I'll give you guys a few more minutes and we will get started. I hope everyone's having a good day. Let's see. We already have a few questions coming in. When is it? Aaron asked, when is it possible to redeem the Ledger Stacks? I'm assuming you already minted the Stacks NFT. The redemption process, I don't know the specific or the exact date, but probably sometime in March. Yep, shout out to Brady, shout out to Tim. And yep, once again, guys, Brady and Tim are from Ledger, so they'll of course answer your guys' question, all right? So let's just get right into it. So we are doing the Nano X today. So with the Nano X, the difference, before I even get started, I'm going to explain the difference between the S Plus and the Nano X. So in terms of security and even the stacks, if you guys want, you guys can check our website, ledger.com. You guys can check out the stacks. This is not released yet, but we'll be releasing in 2023. It's a very innovative product, very user-friendly. I'm not going to go too in-depth into it because this isn't a stack stream, but you guys can check that out as well and pre-order one of you guys if that interests you. All right. Yep. What's up, Kyle? So once again, the difference between these two is going to be the Bluetooth. Okay. So of course, price point's going to be different. With the Nano X, it's their top dog currently. It is 150. It's going to allow you to connect to Ledger Live Mobile, which means that you can use your phone, iOS or Android. And in terms of security functionality, these both are going to be the same, right? They both have the secure element chip in them. The main purpose of these or of Ledger products is the that it generates your security or the recovery phrase offline and secures your private keys within the device. Okay, so once again, we're doing the Nano X. And of course, if you guys want to check out the S Plus, you guys can check it out on our website. Okay, so let's get right into it. So if you buy a ledger from us or a authorized reseller, it will be wrapped. I'm just going to do the whole unboxing with you guys to show you guys how everything should look. If yours doesn't come with everything that mine comes with, feel free to reach out to us because sometimes the packaging may be a little different. So of course you can reach out to us to confirm. So let me switch the camera angle so you guys can see. All right, so we're doing the Nano X. Let me put these aside. So they're plastic wrap. Take it out real quick. Okay. So of course, when you take it out, it's gonna give you some information in the back. Let me just take out this wrapper to show you guys. It's gonna say keep your crypto secure, and it's just basically gonna tell you the features of the Nano X. Obviously, it's gonna tell you storage. It's going to tell you the Bluetooth like I explained, but yeah, feel free to read the back. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but of course, Ledger Nano X, as soon as you unbox it, it'll look like this. Okay, you unbox it, this is what it should look like. Okay, boom. Okay, it's going to give you Ledger logo, and for those of you guys who have old ledgers, it might look like this with our old logo. They're both the same. Both the same, just different logo. Okay, so take it out of its box. Take it out of its box. It's going to come with three important things, right? The first important thing is it's going to come with welcome. Oh, let's change it. gonna come with this welcome sheet, and in it, it's gonna come with a recovery sheet, but not just one, but three, okay? These recovery sheets are very important as you are gonna be writing your recovery phrase on this sheet, okay? Should look something like this, change the angle, look something like this, okay? I'll give you guys a few minutes. So once again, gonna give you, they're all gonna come with three, and what you're gonna do is when you generate the 24-word recovery phrase, you want to write your recovery phrase correctly on the sheet, okay? You don't want to take a picture of it. You don't want to store it on the internet. You don't want to do what I'm doing, live streaming it. You just want to write it on this piece of paper. And of course, we do have some backup, like some physical backup options. You don't want to invest in any cloud backup options, as that does leave your recovery phrase for a vector of attack. All right, guys. So you guys can see there's a sheet. The next important thing that's going to come with is charger. It is a data cable. This will allow you to connect to Ledger Live and of course charge your Ledger. Okay, your Ledger Nano X, as the S Plus does not have batteries, so you will need to have that plugged in at all times to be able to use S Plus. All right, so the last thing, which is kind of cool, is this keychain. Of course, keychain is kind of blurry. We will be getting a better camera here, so yep, it's just a keychain. All right, so as far as that goes, unboxing wise, it's pretty standard, right? The most important thing that's gonna come with every Nano X Plus is that recovery phrase sheet, recovery sheet right here. You don't want to lose a sheet, as these sheets are gonna give you your 24-word recovery phrase is what's gonna allow you to access to your funds on the blockchain. All right, so once again, let's switch angle. Pretty simple here. Okay. Pretty standard. Let's just plug it in and let's just get right into it. Let's just change it. Of course, gotta power it on. All right, so let's see. Let's see. Power it on. Okay, so okay, it's on. I guess it did not need to be charged. So of course with the X, it does not need a cable. Of course, there's battery, and you guys can see the battery life on it. It's pretty high, so we'll just set it up like this. Of course, you guys can set it up plugged in as well with the X. Okay. So of course, this is just going to tell you basic instructions to use the X and the S Plus. Button functionality is going to be this button's to the right, this button's to the left. With the S Plus, it will be somewhere up here. And to confirm, you're just gonna press both buttons at the same time, okay? You're not gonna hold it. If you hold it, you will be prompted to the control center, okay? So before we get started in setting up our recovery phrase and writing it down, the step is very important. So I wanna explain to you guys a few things, all right? First thing I wanna explain to you guys, like I mentioned before, is when you're setting up a ledger, you should always set up a brand new recovery phrase. So the prompts that you're gonna get is set up as new device, okay? The only time you should ever use this second prompt right here where it says restore from recovery phrase is if you already had a previous ledger, right? I know there's some videos online that tells you to import a recovery phrase. It's most likely from a software wallet. You don't want to do that because the recovery phrase has already been compromised on the internet. So you putting your recovery phrase into the device, let's say for example, MetaMask, right? If you put in your 12-word recovery phrase into the device, the ledger's not really doing much. You didn't buy the ledger for any purpose because the recovery phrase has already been compromised, right? When you're buying a ledger, you're buying it for the sole fact that everything is offline. Okay, guys, that's very important. So once again, the only time you should ever use this restore from a recovery phrase is, of course, let's say this ledger breaks, I buy a new ledger, and then I import the 24-word recovery phrase from this ledger to this, and then I'll be able to retrieve all the accounts associated with that recovery phrase, okay? So of course, for this stream, we are gonna set up as new device, okay? And when you set up as new device, like I mentioned before, you should only write it down on this sheet of paper. Of course, we have some backup alternatives you guys can check out. I'm not gonna go too in depth into that, but yep, you only want to write it down on this recovery sheet, okay? So get right into it. So we're going to choose PIN. let's just, for video's sake, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. And a question that arises is, what happens if you lose your PIN? Well, the good news is nothing bad happens as long as you have your recovery phrase. All right, your PIN is local to your device, and what I mean by that is there's nothing really. Basically, if someone knows your PIN, they can access your accounts, right? But let's just say if you lost your password, how do I put it in real world analogy? If you lost your password, your recovery phrase is like answering your security questions, right? But you should take it. It's more important than that because it's only going to be on this sheet of paper, right? So if you lose this paper, Ledger doesn't store any private information, so there would be no um, chance to help you. And of course, with 24 words, it's a lot harder than answering a question like, oh, what was the last car that you own, right? So just keep that in mind. As far as this goes, we're just gonna get right into it. It's just prompting us with messages, letting us know that the recovery phrase is paramount. Um, it's what allows you to access your funds on the blockchain. A good analogy I like to use is it's your master key. It's like your key to your house. Let's say you have assets in the house, you have car keys, you have furniture, you have electronics, right? Your recovery phrase is what's going to allow you to access the house. But in crypto terms, it allows you to access your accounts, addresses on the blockchain. All right, guys. So once again, nothing is actually stored in this device. It is a misconception in the crypto space because they use the term hardware wallets, but the only thing that is in this device is the private keys, right? So let's get right into it. So we're going to do press both buttons to continue, and we're just going to get to it. I'm going to breeze through this, but when you're doing this, you should definitely take your time. Erase. And the words that are generated, some of you guys may have questions on like how are these words generated. They're going to follow a BIP39 standard. You guys can check that out. It's a list of 2,048 possible words. Another question that arises during the setup is sometimes people have the same word twice in a recovery phrase. That's perfectly normal. For example, there is a recovery phrase, a 24 set recovery phrase that is baked 24 times. All right, so it is possible. And when you have the word twice, I feel like it makes your recovery phrase more unique, right? So once again, we're just going to get to it. And of course, when you're writing this, you want to write it vertically. What I mean by that is you want to write it up, down. We're used to writing it like left to right, right? So you might put 1 here, and then for number 13 is 2, right? So just make sure you're writing it down correctly. Margin. And another question that people ask is when they're going through the process, they put everything in, and they're unsure if the recovery phrase they've written down was correct. We also have a recovery check app in Ledger Live that will allow you to check if the recovery phrase you wrote down is associated with your device, and I'll show you guys that later on in the stream because, like I want to preach on the stream, right? Your recovery phrase is everything. You need to make sure that you have it safely written down, secure, and obviously, I always advise have a backup just in case. So let's just get through this process, and then I'll show you guys Ledger Live. Ledger Live is their native software, and that basically what it does is it allows you to scan your accounts on the blockchain. It helps you visualize things. Okay, so if you have questions, they're being addressed. So great, great thing. Keep asking questions, guys. As soon as I finish this, I will be able to answer some questions. This get down. Okay. All right, cool. So I've written it down, and we are gonna start the confirmation process. Okay. So of course, press left to verify your 24 words. Press both buttons to continue. Okay. Gonna go through it. Verify through it. Okay. So I'll just verify real quick. First word: erase, margin, blank, veteran, clown, skill, dress, popular, potato, economy, mansion, base, final. Okay. So as soon as we are done with that, through it, and now we're going to start the confirmation process. Okay. Let me just confirm these words real quick for you guys, and then margin. Down, skill, popular. Base. Fashion. Word is girl. Length. Okay. So when you're done with this process, it will say your recovery phrase is set. Keep it in a secure place. Okay. If lost, stolen, there's not much you can do, right? And then obviously never share with anyone. And that's another best practice I want to tell you guys, that you should never share your recovery phrase with anyone in times of distress. Someone may ask you for your recovery phrase, right? It's very important that you just understand you should never give it to anyone, including a Ledger support, right? Ledger will never ask for your recovery phrase, but there's a lot of impersonators out there, so you want to be careful of that, okay, guys? Next thing is, we will get right back to it. The next thing is, we're going to continue its processing, and we're going to get right into it. Cool. All right, your device is ready. Go to the dashboard. Boom. All right, so as soon as you have it set up, let me just plug it back in. Open every stats, of course. Yeah, and we are going to install Ledger Live. Okay, so Ledger Live, once again, guys. Ledger Live is a software. It's a native Ledger software that will allow you to download apps, basically manage your accounts. It's basically kind of like MetaMask, right? Nothing is stored on the device, but nothing's stored in Ledger Live as well, right? So there are some limitations in Ledger Live, and I'll show you guys that later on in the stream. Okay, so let's just get right into downloading Ledger Live. So when you download Ledger Live, you're going to want to go to ledger.com. Okay, this is best practice. You don't want to search up Ledger Live on the internet. Ledger Live is the application. All right, guys, it is not a web application. It's an application on your desktop. Okay, so of course you're going to go to apps and services, Ledger Live, and you're going to download directly from our site. You're going to download the app right here. You're going to download the one that's corresponded to your operating system, whether that's Windows, Mac, Linux, and make sure that your operating system does meet the technical requirements to run Ledger Live, okay? Because there are some requirements. So I already have Ledger Live downloaded for video sake, but yeah, so this step's very important. And yeah, you guys can download it from here, and then let's head over to Ledger Live so I can show you guys how that looks, okay? Boom. So Ledger Live, this is what Ledger Live is going to look like. Pretty cool interface. What you're going to do is when you first set up your Ledger, you're going to click Get Started, okay? and then you're going to click the device that you have. So for today's stream, we're doing the Nano X. Obviously, we have the S, S Plus, X, and soon Stacks. Okay, so X, you are going to get a few options. Okay, you're going to get first time using your Nano X. But if you're doing the stream onboarding with me, you guys can just select this option, okay? Because I'll explain everything in detail so you guys don't have to go through this step, okay? So we're going to click connect your Nano X. And this step's very important. This step is the genuineness check. What this check does is it's going to check if your device has been tampered with. This check is going to be very important for those of you guys who have bought a Nano from a retailer that's not an authorized retailer of Ledger, right? This step, the reason why this step is very important is it's going to allow you to see that your device is good to go, nothing's been tampered with, the firmware in the device, everything is good, right? So make sure when you do the setup process, you do the genuine check, okay? If you don't do the genuine check, what you can do is you can restart your Ledger live or re-download it and then go through the process again, okay? So what's going to happen is when I click check my Nano, right, it's going to perform this thing on the device. Cable does not seem working correctly, so sometimes this happens. We'll just have to use a different cable. We'll just have to use a different cable here. So sometimes that does happen, guys. So as you guys can see, nothing's popping up on the device because of the cable. And that's fine, right? You guys can always feel free to use another data cable. Let me swap that out real quick. That out real quick. Right here. So then charging, I'm going to put the pin in. 2, 4. Okay. So, yeah, it was a cable, guys. So once again, you guys can see the other cable was not picking things up correctly. So sometimes that may happen to you guys. A quick fix will be to change the cable, okay? So we're going to allow Ledger Manager, and what that's going to do is it's going to perform the check in Ledger Live, and as you guys can see, of course, it's all good to go, okay? So as soon as you're good to go, you should feel safe, and we'll get through the process here. Terms of use, terms of service, read through this. Continue. Okay, so now we have Ledger Live downloaded. We don't have it set up. The best practice is, of course, checking. The first step I recommend you guys do is going to My Ledger, okay? The reason why you guys want to go to My Ledger is you want to make sure your device firmware is up to date, okay? So let's check. Okay, so once again, guys, obviously this was a brand new device. Been sitting in the office for a while, so we got to update the firmware. Firmware updates very important is because it'll allow your device to run at max max functionality. Okay, so whenever you do the firmware updates, it's important that you have access to your recovery phrase, because sometimes what a firmware update will do is it will wipe the device clean, and then if you don't have your recovery phrase, you can't recover your accounts, of course, right? You can't retrieve those same accounts in Ledger Live because all the accounts in Ledger Live are local. Okay, so we're just gonna get to it, downloading, and this is what look on the device. Okay, it might take a little bit, and while it takes a little bit, I'll answer some questions. Okay, so I see we already have a few questions that have been addressed. Yep, make sure you guys like the video. Yeah, it looks good, looks good. What questions have been addressed? Cool. So just gonna take a minute, and then as you guys can see, it's gonna say new firmware 2.0.2. Okay, confirm update. Double click or press both buttons at the same time, and boom. Okay, bootloader mode. This just takes a bit and processing. Cool. Take a minute. How everything should look, guys. Okay, so as soon as you do the firmware update, you're just gonna have to enter your PIN again. Your PIN, once again, is local on the device. We do have a security mechanism built into the device. Very cool. If your ledger ever got stolen, the person that stole it only has 3 tries to break through, right? So obviously don't do a PIN of 1, or don't put a PIN of 1, 2, 3, 4, as that's very obvious. Okay, so yep, very thanks, Tim. Yep. So there you go. All right, so we're just gonna press and we're in. Okay, so as soon as we're in, now what we're gonna do is go back to Ledger Live, and now our firmware is updated. Okay, so just gonna take a minute here to refresh. As soon as your firmware is updated, guys, what you're gonna want to do is you are gonna want to download some apps. Every time it prompts you this message, what it's telling you to do is you want to go back to your device and allow Ledger Manager. Okay, you want to press both buttons, and it will prompt you to the next step. All right, so boom, our firmware is updated, everything looks good, we passed a genuine check. Next step, what are we going to do? We're going to download some apps. Of course, for today's stream, we're just going to keep it simple. Download or install, excuse me, Bitcoin. We'll install Polygon. So with Polygon, you do need ETH to download Polygon. So that'll just take a few minutes here. Yep. This should take a few minutes. I can't leave this page, so while it's installing, I will just answer questions. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Cool. So Tim is helping Tim. Can we still use the Ledger Live native HBAR wallet instead of Hashpack if we already have it set up in Ledger Live, even though Hashpack is now the go-to wallet? Cheers. So Hashpack or Hedera is a little more complicated. Steve-O, did you set up your HBAR account through Hashpack first, or what was the process like? Because I do have a HBAR account in Ledger Live that I set up through Hashpack and then I imported into Ledger Live. Okay. So boom. All right. So we install the apps. So as soon as we install the apps, what we're gonna do is, before I even add the account, I just want to show you guys the portfolio. So portfolio, obviously this is gonna be empty, right? When you're in this tab, all you're gonna do to add an account is you're gonna go to add account and basically add the account that is, that you want to add. I mean, for this stream, we'll add. I don't have any funds on this specific recovery phrase or associated to this specific recovery phrase, but for video or stream sake, I just want to show you guys how to add some accounts, and then I will plug in another ledger that has some funds to show you guys how to move funds around, how to receive funds, and of course some cool stuff in the Discover tab, such as swapping crypto. Okay, so cool. So let's just add some accounts here. It's gonna take a minute, of course. We're adding Ethereum. What this is doing is it's scanning the blockchain to see if you have any funds, and of course we don't have any funds. Okay, so ETH, and I'll add Polygon. Okay, so after this step, since this ledger doesn't have any funds associated with the recovery phrase, I'm just gonna plug in, like I mentioned, another ledger, and yeah, we will do some cool things now. Just download Polygon. Okay, it's gonna take a minute. Okay, so there you go. So these two accounts right here are associated with the new ledger that I set up for today's stream. This one right here. I'm gonna plug in my work one, and I'll show you guys a few things. Okay, so I should unplug it. And for those of you guys who have questions as far as Ledger Live goes, these accounts are local. It's like stored locally. So what that means is these accounts will always stay here. And I'll show you guys what happens if I try to access these accounts from another recovery phrase. Okay, because that's why I was mentioning, right? I want to make sure you guys understand your recovery phrase is everything. Okay, so Now I have the new ledger set up. As you guys can see, I have thousands of apps, right? Not thousands, I'm exaggerating, but 40. So go back in Ledger Live. Let's see what happens when I try to access this Polygon account, okay? I click receive. Let's see what happens. See, so you're gonna get this error message. This error message is indicating that the recovery phrase on this device does not match this specific account, okay? So just wanted to show you guys that error. For those of you guys who have multiple ledgers, I highly recommend you guys organize it right here, okay? But organize, like rename it so I know. So I'll just name it, you know, one. Okay. Okay, so I highly recommend you guys rename it to to organize your guys' accounts, because all these accounts are stored locally. If you guys want to remove the accounts, you guys can feel free. When you guys do this, nothing actually happens to your assets, right? Everything is on the blockchain. All this does is it removes the account. That's it. Okay. So let's add some accounts, and let's add Polygon because it's the cheapest as far as fees go. So I can show you guys how to move some assets and how to swap. Okay. Just gonna take a minute here. Okay. And you guys will see that, yep, this account has more plus another one. Okay, so now we have assets, some crypto added. I'm gonna show you guys how to move your crypto. Okay, so before we move the crypto, of course, if you guys send tokens, tokens will be listed under the specific account. So all these tokens right here belong on the Polygon network, and obviously I sent it to this Polygon 1 account. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna move Polygon from Polygon 1 to Polygon 2. All we're gonna do is click here. Actually, let's see. I have more Matic on here, so we'll get some Matic on this account. Click continue. Whenever you do this step, it's very important that you confirm. As you guys can see here, right, it says address for Polygon 1, 0x79, then the last 4 digits 107B. It's very important that you guys confirm the address on the device to verify. Okay, so verify, yep, 0x79, as you guys can see right there, 107B. So we know address is legit, right? Because one thing good about Ledger is the message that you guys see on the screen on a computer can be altered, right? Through like malware, through viruses, right? But what you see on the Ledger device is what's happening. So what I mean by that is what I'm approving here and sending from Polygon 2, send base address in. Okay, so I did not copy it on the clipboard, so let's just do that again real quick. Okay, so I copied it. Verify real quick, 0x79, 107B. That's the best practice that I like to use, is the first 4, last 4. So we're gonna confirm, approve, go back here, got the address. Now we're gonna go to Polygon 2, send, paste it in, boom. All right, that easy. In terms of Matic, we'll just send a little Matic because we're running low on funds. So gas fees, we're just gonna put it on default, continue, and of course, whenever you send, you will have to verify the transaction on the device as well. All right, so I'll say review transaction, amount, address that we're sending to, fees, accept and send. Boom, just like that. Transaction is being broadcasted on the blockchain, and now it's been sent. That simple, guys, as far as sending and receiving. Okay, next thing I want to show you guys is the Discover tab. Okay, the Discover tab is very cool. I'm not going to go into every specific application, but you guys should definitely check it out and dive into our ecosystem. We have a few cool things such as refer a friend. If you guys ever refer a friend to buy one of our products, you do get some crypto, right? So Bitcoin, of course, $10 worth of Bitcoin as of right now. Bitcoin goes up, who knows, right? Binance, you guys can buy crypto directly within Ledger Live. We have PairSwap. This is a DEX. We also have 1inch. That's a DEX as well. Lido, this is how you can stake your ETH. Make sure you guys understand how staking works before you stake. MoonPay, buying crypto directly in Ledger Live. We have a few other things, Rainbow Me. So yeah, that's some cool things in Ledger Live. I also want to show you guys how to view your NFTs and how to receive your NFTs. Okay, so I do have some NFTs here that on this specific recovery phrase. So let me add it. I'll show you guys how NFTs look. And some of you guys may ask, do we support NFTs on all networks? We only support Ethereum and Polygon at the moment. Of course, you can connect your ledger to a third-party wallet to view your NFTs and manage it on their software, right? Whenever you connect your ledger to a third-party wallet, you're not compromising anything. All you're doing is essentially exporting your public key. So that software scans all the assets on that specific address. And of course, whenever you perform a transaction, same thing applies to Ledger Live. You will have to approve the transaction. Okay, so now I can show you guys how NFTs look. Okay, so just going to be right, whether that's Ethereum, on the Ethereum network or on the Polygon network, your NFTs are just going to appear right here. So Polygon, I have this random NFT, and on Ethereum, I have brick and some random NFT. Okay, so to view your NFTs, all you're going to do is you're going to want to go right here, or you can click See Gallery, but go right here. Click on it right here, 3 dots. 3 dots, and then you guys can view, hide. You guys can view on OpenSea, Rarible, or on the Explorer. If you guys want to view it, you guys can just click directly on it and view it. Okay, so that's pretty cool in terms of sending. All you're going to do when you're sending NFTs is you just got to make sure you send it on the right network. If it's Ethereum NFT, all you have to do, same thing applies. You're sending it to this specific address or whatever account you want to send it to. So once again, you can click receive, continue, and verify the address, 0x7910.7b, verify on the device, verify address, 0x7910.7b, boom. All right, so that's pretty simple. As far as that goes, let's do a swap. Yep, and then that's staking. Let's do a swap. I want to show you guys how to swap through a DEX, right? Because some of you guys might want to swap, let's say, some USDC or some Ethereum to some stable coins or whatever, right? So let's just get right into it. Let's go back to Ledger Live, and we will use PairSwap for today's stream. So whenever you're swapping through a DEX, it's going to allow you to select Polygon, Ethereum, and BSC. Okay, so of course Polygon is cheap. I do have quite a bit of funds to work around with, so I can show you guys. So let's just swap USDC. Okay, let's just swap USDC first. Being a little laggy. Let's go back to Polygon 1. Okay, so we have 50 USDC. Let's swap 10 USDC. What is it? Oh, swap 10 USDC. 10 USDC to Matic. Okay. So whenever you're doing tokens on the network, you guys are going to have to go through a 2-step process. The reason why you guys are going to have to go through a 2-step process, I might not have to because I already have a token approval, but basically what it is a spend approval, right? So let me see here. Okay, so let's see if I have to go through the 2-step process. If I do, then I can explain it during the process, and if I don't, I'll just go in depth into it so you guys understand the concept. Okay, continue. Okay, so whenever you perform a swap, you will need an app for it. I do have the PairSwap added. If you guys don't have the PairSwap added, it will automatically install the app for you. Or you guys can go to my ledger on the bottom left of Ledger Live, and then you guys can install the app that way. Okay, so of course now it's, what is it telling us? It's telling us Always verify the operation details on your device. And it's telling us the fees, telling us what's going on. Now, when we go on device, let's go through it. All right. So it's going to say review transaction. PairSwap is telling you the function swap, send 10 USDC, and this is how much Matic we're receiving. Network, max fees, acceptance, send. Okay. So I already had a spend approval, so I didn't have to go through a two-step process. So for those of you guys who swap the native currency, so what I mean by that is if you swap BNB, Ethereum, or Matic on Polygon, you only have to do the approval once. If you're swapping a token, right? Let's say SHIB, let's say USDC, any stable coins, any tokens, right? You're gonna have to approve the transaction twice, right? What it's basically doing is it makes you it basically lets a smart contract know that you're allowing the smart contract to spend that amount. Okay. And then the second time around, it's just you're basically approving the swap. So the first time around is it's letting the smart contract know, or the DEX know that, hey, I'm allowing you to swap unlimited amount of USDC to whatever. Second time around is you're performing the swap. Okay. So get right back into it. The swap has already gone through, so that was pretty quick. Let's see, we can view, and then down here you guys can see the fees, right? With PairSwap, it's just gonna give you guys the best rates on various different dexes. Okay, so let's see if it's gone through. Okay, so boom, it has gone through, as you guys can see here. In latest operations, we swap 10 USDC. It's not gonna say swap, gonna say sent. But yeah, so obviously you guys can see here it went through, and Matic right here you guys can see the swap for it, right? So that's pretty much it as far as Ledger Live swapping, how to view your NFTs, how to send, how to receive. Now I just want to go through all these other different things to the top right. So first thing is this button right here. If you click it, it's going to synchronize your accounts back up with the blockchain. This right here, Information Center. Okay. Status of Ledger Live, of course. You guys can check out if everything is functional. Discrete mode is very cool, guys. For those of you guys who don't want to see the value of your money go up or down and just care about the actual amount, you guys can click right here. Yeah, it'll just tell you the percentage allocation, price. It won't tell you their exact amount. Help, if you guys go to help, you guys can get in contact with us. Then there is settings. Settings is some cool things in here. The first thing is general. You guys can change the theme, dark, light, display language, password lock. This feature is very cool as well. What this feature is going to allow you to do is put a password in Ledger Live. For those of you guys who have kids that use your laptop or computer and you don't want them clicking on anything and messing anything up, feel free to do a password lock. This password lock is local to your device. Once again, guys, I want to reiterate that nothing is stored in Ledger Live. Nothing is stored on the Ledger device itself. The only thing that matters, guys, is these 24 words, okay? These 24 words is your master key to your assets on the blockchain. It's like your key to your house, right? And you can't really replicate it. You can, of course, back it up, but if anything happens to it, right, you're basically screwed. Ledger doesn't store any private information, like I mentioned earlier in the stream, so we can't help you recover funds, right? So keep this sheet safe, all right? Keep the sheet safe. I don't want any of you guys who are watching my stream right now lose your recovery phrase, right? I want everybody to be safe and secure, okay, guys? So let's get right back into Ledger Live. Password lock is a cool feature. The next thing is accounts. You guys can export your accounts for tax reasons. Hidden NFT collections. You guys can hide NFTs and tokens. About this, this tab right here is going to tell you your Ledger Live version. My Ledger Live version is outdated. It should be on 2.50.1. Usually there's an orange box right here, but it's not popping up right now, or right here for some reason. Help, clearing cache. You guys should definitely use this feature quite often. Every time that you guys go into Ledger Live, I always recommend you guys check this feature out because it will right? It says right here, clear the Ledger Live cache to force resynchronization with the blockchain. Save logs. This feature is when you guys get into touch with us. If you guys attach the logs, it does help our agents resolve your case. Okay, so of course, reset Ledger Live. You reset Ledger Live, it's just gonna go right to the beginning. But yeah, guys, that's basically it as far as Ledger Live setup process goes. I know I took a little longer, but I just want to be very clear cut that you guys understand how the whole process is and the best practice. And yeah, we have about 15 more minutes, and I'll answer you guys' questions. If you guys have anything you guys want to see visually, I could definitely show you guys how to do that. But yeah, we have quite a bit of people in here. Hope everyone's having a great day or a great evening, great night. And yeah, great stream today. See what we have. See what we have. Okay, so Dreamer, let's see, Dreamer's question has been addressed. Dreamer, yes, are Solana NFTs supported? So your Solana NFTs can be secured by a ledger, but if you're referring to supported in Ledger Live, it is not. What you'll have to do is you'll have to connect your ledger to Phantom Wallet or Soulflare, or any wallet that supports hardware wallet connections and supports NFTs, of course. Okay. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Yeah, so I see our guild that you were unable to access Ledger Manager. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to change out your cables. I don't know if you were here earlier in the stream, but I actually had some issues accessing the Ledger Manager because the cable wasn't working, right? So swap out your cable and see if that works. See what else we got. Let's see. See. Feel free to ask any question you guys may have. Yeah, we'll just chill here. Chill here for a little bit. Rat. Oh, okay. I think someone had a question on Rat NFTs. Can you use Rat Ethereum on Ledger? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Here, let me show you, Lori, how you can check if things are supporting Ledger Live. All right, let's check real quick. Give you guys a little quick lesson. So, whenever you guys want to see if a specific coin token is supported on a specific network, all you have to do is go to Add Account. And Lori, I know your question was Wheat, so you just search up Wheat, and you can see Wheat is supported on Ethereum. This square box right here on the right that says Ethereum is going to let you know that it's supported. You can see that Wrath Wheat is exported on other networks as well, such as Polygon. And same thing with tokens. So let's just, what token comes to mind? Let's do Mana. So Mana is supported on Ethereum and Polygon. It's very important to understand which networks you're sending to. Okay, so that's basically how you guys can check if a specific token or coin is supported in Ledger Live. Of course, guys, if a token and coin is not supported in Ledger Live, there's still ways to secure, right? There's probably a 90% chance that we still can secure your assets as long as you guys are aware that you'll have to connect to a third-party wallet and manage your assets that way. Then yeah, you should be good to go. But Ledger Live is just a software, just like all these third-party, such as MetaMask, Phantom, Yoroi, Nami, all these different wallets, right? Ledger Live works the same as just a native software, right? It's basically all-in-one type of thing. That's why people prefer Ledger Live, which I understand. But of course, for those of you guys who are more advanced users that know how to connect to third-party wallets, You can, of course, secure your assets that way, okay? See what else we got. Okay. Spooky swap. Are you referring to the dApp, or are you referring to, let's see, Spooky swap? Spooky swap. I know Spooky swap is on Phantom, right? Let's see if you can give me 1 second on the Spooky swap. Okay, so it looks like with Spooky swap, yeah, it looks like with Spooky swap, what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to connect to MetaMask and use it that way. You won't be able to use it in Ledger Live, but you should be able to perform any swaps directly on their dApp, right? Spooky swap. Let's see what else we have. Nadora, my mobile Samsung S22 Ultra version. Dora. What's your question, Dora? I see that you stated your Android version, or not Android version, your Android device and your Ledger Live mobile. Can I see? Yeah, so Leo, that was a very good question you asked. As far as XRP goes, you can only see the XRP native asset. If you want to see tokens on XRP, you can connect your ledger to XRP Toolkit. Okay. What else we have? Yeah, Argil, I highly recommend you submit a ticket with us so we can look into that further. But yeah, I'm not too sure, man. We'll have to we'll definitely have to look into it, and we'll definitely help you resolve your issue. Um, Thanks for answering. Another is Wrath Ethereum the same gas fees as regular Ether. So Lori, I don't want to go too in depth into things and confuse you, but Wrath Ethereum is actually a token, right? So you're not using Wrath Ethereum to pay for gas fees. When you're sending Wrath Ethereum on the Ethereum network, you're still using Ethereum's native asset or native currency to pay for gas. So the fees don't change. Hopefully that makes sense. The fees don't change. Um, Whenever you're interacting with tokens, like if I want to send a token to you, I have to pay the native asset, right? So if I'm on Polygon and I have Wrath Ethereum on Polygon and I want to send it to you, I'll have to use Matic to pay for the fees, right? I don't use Wrath ETH. How do I recover XDC, William Doyle? So you're gonna recover it. Let's see if I have an article I can link. You're gonna recover it through either MetaMask or Mew, depending on if you have already set up your account. Let me find that article for you. Got you, man. Hold up, hold up. See? Okay. Here you go, William. Let's Leo. I have 2 faulty units. What should I do with them? Destroy for security measures. Leo, you know when you bought the nanos? And what do you mean by faulty? Is the battery? What's going on with them? Because you do have a 2-year warranty on your devices, so if it was within that 2-year time period, you could get a replacement. Hi all, I just seen this AMA. There's any schedule on add pair chain of dot on Ledger Live instead of using code.js. What do you mean by that? I know that you can use some parachains, like we have some parachain apps, like such as Kusama. What other apps are there? Kusama, Kala. There's quite a bit of parachains supported. If you're referring to like managing everything with Polkadot.js, that's unfortunately what you have to do as of right now, Zeno. Hopefully we can incorporate managing all your pair chains within Ledger Live. So again, the asset is 88 Atom, ETC dot Uni on BNB Smart Chain. All is not counter value and can't understand why. So Amir, the reason why you may not be able to see the balance in Ledger Live is because our price API with CoinGecko may be having some issues. So what you can do is you can connect your ledger to MetaMask, right? Add the BNB network or BSC network, and then add the custom tokens, and you'll be able to view your balance directly through MetaMask. But yeah, I'll definitely pass that feedback along, Amir, and see why that is the case. Um, because you're basically saying you can see the amount of let's say dot or Uniswap ADA atom, but you can't see the fiat value, correct? Yeah, Zeno, I completely agree, man. Completely agree. There's just so many, different things that we have to implement, but within due time, I'm sure that's something that dot users would want. Right, Ledger strives to improve our products every day. So, Ledger Live is a very important product. So hopefully we can get that implemented for you. Gotcha, Amir. Yeah. So as far as that goes, just check out MetaMask. Do you know how to connect your ledger to MetaMask, Amir? Yes, Brady. Yes, Parachains would love to see those soon. See what else we got. I'll stay here for another 5 minutes. And for those of you guys who want to open a ticket, I'm going to show you guys how to open a ticket. If you guys don't want to discuss any personal details in the stream, obviously for the stream, you're just asking general questions and giving feedback, as all feedback is appreciated, right? So to submit a ticket, all you're going to do, you're going to go here, ledger.com, you're going to go to support, and it's pretty simple. It may take a little bit as we are experiencing high volume, but we'll be sure to get back to you and just click contact us. New conversation, go through this process, and an agent will be assigned to your case, and we'll take care of you guys. All right. But yeah, guys, make sure you guys like the video. Feel free to leave any feedback. We do these streams every Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific. I can see that there's quite a bit of users who have already set up your ledger or set up their ledger. So yeah, so the first part of the stream is the device setup, onboarding best practice, and then the second part is the question. So feel free to come back at the second portion of the stream to tune in and ask questions. Lori, so I can link you an article, Lori. I don't have time to walk through the steps on how to connect to MetaMask, but I can definitely link you step-by-step instructions on how to get that done. Okay, so let me make sure I send you this, Lori. Here you go, Lori, and you should have no problem connecting your ledger to MetaMask, right? As I mentioned before, whenever you connect your ledger to a software wallet, as long as you're not exposing your recovery phrase, you're good to go, right? Because whenever you connect to a third-party wallet, all you're doing is, of course, exporting your public key. With that public key, the software scans all the addresses, and then when you perform transactions, you have to approve the transaction on the device, right? No problem, Lawyer. No problem. So Lance Taylor, shout out to you, man. I see that you minted the Stacks NFT bundle. So with the Stacks NFT bundle, you're gonna get two things, right? The first thing you're gonna get is you're gonna get this, the bonus. I'll discuss the bonus actually. So the bonus, two things you're gonna get. First is you're gonna get a protective magnetic case. Second thing is you're gonna get a random NFT generated that will be dropped in March. So how the process works is I'm hoping sometime in March you're gonna redeem. You're basically gonna burn your NFT, and then we're gonna ship you a ledger with the magnetic case for free, right? So Well, sure, thanks for the help, but if I still be possible to solve the issue and any new updates, please do it. And thanks again. No problem, Mir, no problem. PayPal is about to own MetaMask. How's that decentralized? PayPal is about to own MetaMask. How's that decentralized? Mike mean. Well, you're that's a very good question. I mean, you don't have to use MetaMask. You can use Mew. You can use my crypto wallet. It's just MetaMask is the most simple wallet. Whenever you connect your wallet to MetaMask, it's MetaMask doesn't have ownership to your assets, right? Because if you have a MetaMask account that you generated 12 words, then sure. But if you're connecting your ledger to MetaMask, they don't have access to your account. So I would still consider that's decentralized, right? Because with the blockchain, I mean, people can see your transaction history, but I mean, they don't have ownership to it, right? You self custody 100% of your funds. So, but I get what you're saying though, Mike. I mean, obviously they're doing like some IP address tracking and all that stuff with RPC, but that's out of my hands. Feel free to use a different software such as Mew, My Crypto, Tallyho. There's a bunch of wallets out there, right? So you don't have to use MetaMask. MetaMask is just the universally accepted software wallet, I guess. Nadora unable to add XCC account. Yeah, so Nadora, you probably want to submit a ticket. Yeah, no problem, Mike. Me. Yeah, just check out. It depends because MetaMask is just all. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Brady made a good point there. As far as software wallets go, Mike, me check out my cryptos, check out my Ether wallet, and for Bitcoin, check out Electrum. Obviously, with MetaMask, you can't manage your Bitcoin because it's only EVMs. But yes. Okay, let's see what else we got. Let's see what else we got. And yeah, guys, viewers seem to be dropping off. Shout out to Tim. Shout out to Brady. I'll give you guys about 2 more minutes, ask you guys the last questions, and I'll bounce out of here. See. Hope you guys all have a great weekend. It was a great stream today. Yeah, great stream. Of course, love chatting with you guys and love hearing the feedback. What else we got? Let's see what else we got. Give you guys 2 more minutes. Let's hear those last minute questions. And next week we are doing a Christmas special, guys, a Christmas stream. There might be a giveaway, there might not, so make sure you guys tune in. I can't release what's going to be happening for our Christmas onboarding stream, but there's going to be something big, okay? So make sure you guys come tune in for that. One more minute, one more minute. All right, let's see what we got. Hi there, can you explain to me if the crypto are on the device? I don't understand how it works. What are they if they're not on the device? Okay, so that's a very important question. I'm assuming you weren't here early in the stream, but to answer your question, nothing is actually stored on this device, okay? All your crypto is on the blockchain, right? And basically what this device does is it generates how do I make it simple for you? It generates you a key, right? That key gives you access to those crypto assets of yours on the blockchain, right? So every private key, right, or every recovery phrase is going to derive a bunch of accounts. So let's just say I have a Bitcoin account, Ethereum, right? It's on the blockchain. Anyone can view it. In order for me to verify I'm the owner, right, through private key, the private key validates I'm the owner and allows me to access, gives me access to those funds and assets on the blockchain. So yeah, just think about it like everything's on the blockchain. All your assets are on the blockchain. In order to validate you're the owner of it, you need the private key. The private key is derived from the recovery phrase, and then that private key allows you to access your funds, right? It's pretty simple there. So there's going to be a public key and private key. Public key is your public address, right? So all your accounts on the blockchain are going to have public key. Think about it kind of like an email address or your wallet address that's public. Anyone can view it. And then in order to, access it. You need a key to that specific address. Hopefully that makes sense. Does Ledger revoke token purchase automatically? No, it does not. No, does it not, Rob? And in order, and I'll show you real quick before I go. This is a more advanced feature, but I want to give you guys value every week and teach you guys something new. Okay, so to revoke tokens, let's just say for Etherscape or on Ethereum, what you're gonna do, all you're gonna do is you're gonna go here, more. A lot of people don't know this, but this is a very cool feature. More, token approve, and put in your address right here. So let me just see. Let me just get an address real quick of mine to see if I have any token approvals. Okay. So I'll just put my address, and boom. See, you guys can see right here. It'll tell you if you have any assets at risk. Okay. So check it out. You're just gonna go to more token approvals, put in your address, revoke access. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. See what else we got. BB, I mean, I don't think that's the direction. I think we have a product for each type of person, right? Some people just prefer the simplicity of a Ledger Nano X or S Plus, where some people care more about the UI, right, user interface, and the user friendliness of it, which is the stacks. This is my opinion. If you're someone that does a lot of crypto stuff weekly, daily, right? I highly prefer the stacks. It's gonna give you a way better experience, and it looks cooler, right? So the price point, if you can justify the price point, I think it's a pretty fair price. It has some pretty cool technology. I highly recommend you guys check it out. Right, the first Curve e-ink device. Then if it justifies your price point, then the stacks will do it for you. But if you just care about securing your assets, if you're just a hodler, you send Bitcoin or send Ethereum to your account, and your time horizon is years, and you don't plan to check every day, then maybe the Nano X or Nano S Plus is for you, right? We have a device for everybody. No problem, man. No problem. That was a great question you asked. Are you getting the stacks, BB? I hope you are. I hope you are, my man. Exactly. Hopefully you're getting the sack, so you can experience. Cool. Did you mint it? I highly recommend everyone in the stream go mint one right now. The mint ends, I think, tomorrow. If you pre-order it and you mint it, it's the same price. The difference is when you mint it, you get some bonus perks. Okay, with pre-ordering it, all you're gonna get is the Ledger stacks itself. When you mint it, it's gonna come with a magnetic protective case as well as a random NFT. Okay, so make sure you guys mint it. I believe it's 0.22 ETH in terms of the price. It's very similar. But yeah. Mint it, where the process is you mint the NFT, come time to redemption, you're going to redeem it, and then we're going to ship it to you. That simple. You pre-order it. When I think of pre-ordering, it's more of like a Web 2 type of deal where you pay with credit card. When you're minting, it's like Web 3, you pay with ETH, okay? What's the advantage of the NFT? I mean, the random NFTs, there's really no advantage. It's just something cool. It's just like a bonus perk. I think there is an advantage with the magnetic case. I don't have the case in hand to show you guys. Yeah, exactly, Brady. It's just art. There's no advantage, but if you're someone that's into art, that art NFT might benefit you. But for me, it's the case, right? The case is cool. Keep your device staying clean and sleek, right? Yeah, I don't have any stacks in hand, so I can't show you guys like give you guys any sneak peeks. But there are some sneak peeks, some teasers on our Twitter, so check that out. But yeah, guys, it's overdue. I appreciate Tim and Brady for helping me out. The stream went beautifully. Everyone asked great questions. I hope to see you guys all for next week's stream. I don't have the specific date, but there will be a scheduled stream. On this specific stream, I am gonna try to do some giveaway. If Ledger's not giving away something, I'll give away something I'll give you guys something, maybe send someone some crypto or something, right? It's Christmas, we're in the holiday spirit. But yeah, guys, I appreciate everyone. We usually have these streams every Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific. Next week, it might change because of the holidays. But yeah, appreciate everyone. Make sure you guys like the video, and I hope to see you guys all soon. Last question, where can we get your t-shirt? Yeah, that's a good question. So obviously I get a shirt because I work for Ledger, but I know that, you know, the general public wants to support Ledger, and I feel like that's like a icebreaker. If you see someone in a Ledger shirt, you can just approach them and be like, oh, you own a Ledger, you know, and you're into crypto. But yeah, hopefully we can release merch. Yeah, I'll sell this for 0.5 ETH. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, hopefully we have merch for the public. I think that would be very cool. I know a lot of people have asked that question if we're ever going to sell merch. Hopefully that's something that we can roll out for you guys, right? Just sell some cheap shirts that represent that you support Ledger. But yeah, without further ado, guys, I'll see you guys next week. I hope everyone has a great weekend. Stay safe, not your keys, not your crypto. And of course, if you guys want to rewatch the stream, go back, take your time. If you guys are new, just learning how to set up your device, go back in time, rewatch it. Make sure you guys understand best practice. Make sure you guys never share your recovery phrase with anyone, because your recovery phrase is paramount. Remember, guys, none of your assets are stored on the device. Everything's on the blockchain. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Make sure you guys like the video. Peace out, everybody.